And it says we're live. Hello. Kapla. I can't say it like a Klingon yet. Working on that. I'm a wannabe Klingon. That's why I'm a tartar. So I'm reading from an excerpt of another recovery meditation book. And I'm waiting to get in there and do all the stuff to get the copy of it for Kindle. So I'm going to go on a different day than today's date, but it's a good excerpt. AA thought for the day. One thing we learn in AA is to take a long view of drinking instead of a short view. When we were drinking, we thought more about the pleasure or release that a drink would give us than we did about the consequences that would come. Rewind. When we were drinking, we thought more about the pleasure or release that a drink would give us than we did about the consequences that would result from our taking that drink. Liquor looks good from the short view. When we look in a liquor store window, we see alcohol dressed up in its best wrappings with the fancy labels and decorations. They look swell. Gotta love that 1940s, 50s talk. But have I learned that what's inside those beautiful bottles is just plain poison to me? Yeah. I believe, this is the meditation for the day, I believe that life is a school in which I must learn spiritual things. I must trust in God and He will teach me. I must listen to God and He will speak through my mind. I must commune with Him in spite of all opposition and every obstacle. There will be days when I will hear no voice in my mind and when there will come no intimate heart-to-heart communion. But if I persist and make it a life habit of schooling myself in spiritual things, God will reveal Himself to me in many ways. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may regularly go to school in things of the Spirit. I pray that I may grow spiritually by making a practice of these things. You're on the need a meeting, Christy. Whether you wanted to be or not. I'm loving you're on the meeting. Okay, how's everybody doing? I see a couple of people here. That's very nice and very encouraging. Thank you for being here. I want to say hi in the chat. Let me know who you are. If you don't, it's fine. Lurkers are more than welcome. Some people have an aversion to that word, but I'm a lurker. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being a lurker? Nothing. Not one thing. So anyway, anybody got anything burning? When I responded to Christy, I said, I'm live, not lice. Okay. So anyway, that was what I was reading from. I was hoping to have some interaction by now. I still haven't gotten the permission between StreamYard and YouTube to get other people up onto the screen yet. I'm still pestering. I'm going to still keep pestering. Hi, Cosmic Christy. I figured you did. It's just me and my OCD needing to fix the needing fixins. But I picked up my bass and played it for the first time today. And that was fun. Oh, it's too crowded up in here. But yeah, it felt really good to get this thing out again. It's been at least 14 years since I've played it. It's been buzzing for the last 10 years or more, maybe. And my son's been playing it, and my husband's been playing it, but I don't know, I hadn't picked it up until today. So that was pretty great. I did, my husband was practicing for a song that they're getting ready to record again. And so I've kind of played along with him. And that, like I said, that was the first time I played, and that'll be posted as a actual video. I don't know, it felt really good. I'm not great at it, but I do like it. And I guess that's something that counts. Oh, and I ordered a little green vintage pick guard for this thing. I'm thinking about maybe stripping it down. I've already finished it once, refinished it once, but I'm thinking about doing a colored stain on it and maybe doing a wood pick guard that's a little bit nicer. I couldn't get this to dye up very nice because it's just that paneling wood and it's only going to show what it shows. But anyway, a few things I'm tossing around. It'd look really cool. If this turns out good, it'd look really cool to do the blue stain here too. Anyway, it's a one of a kind already. You just make it more jazzed up and unique. So how are you doing, Christy? Well, I know how you're doing, and I'm sorry. That's one of the things we get to learn sometimes is how to be alone in a room with ourselves, and that ain't always nice. It is nice. Thank you. I love it. Yeah, never been sorry I made that layaway. But yeah, I wish I had something better to say that was, encouraging that, you're not going to have days where being alone is not hard, and you have a companion that you used to lean on and rely on that you're breaking up with, essentially. That's tough. That's tough. When I was in rehab, it was February 21st was my last drink, and I can't remember when Lent was, and I wasn't a Catholic, but I was in a Catholic place, so I wanted to kind of just do the whole Catholic Lent thing. I've never been alone. It's always been with my kids or my friends. I don't alone well. I hear that. I like being alone for periods of time, but not for days on end. Yeah, because that's like solitary confinement. Yeah. And that's probably why you turned to alcohol, I'm guessing. And what was I saying about? So anyway, I was talking about Lent, and I can't remember if the week of Lent was March or April of that year. I have to go back and look at an old calendar, but I decided that I wanted to quit smoking since I was quitting drinking and quitting doing drugs. And everyone kept warning me, don't do that, you'll relapse. Don't quit everything at once. And I'm like, but I really want to do this. It's like, I'm already miserable. I already feel like crap. I'm already raw as all get out. And every other bad, negative thing. Why not just do it all? I don't need this. It's not going to help me stay any more sober than anything else. The only thing that's helping me right now is chocolate chip cookies. True story. I got up to twice my normal size when I was in rehab. Took about a year to get all that trimmed down again. Anyway, but so what I decided to do was for the week of Lent, I was going to smoke instead of just whenever I want to. I was going to allow myself 5 cigarettes for the first day of Lent, and then 4 cigarettes the next day, 3 cigarettes the next day, 2 cigarettes the next day, and then on Good Friday, I was going to just either smoke my last one or put or don't smoke anything at all. But Good Friday was about abstinence, so I may have not smoked anything at all. And I was planning like a funeral for my last pack of cigarettes, and so I had been kind of walking around for a few days figuring out where I was going to do this funeral, because I wanted to leave my cigarettes where somebody could find them and smoke them if they wanted to. And so I went to a park. It was Chicano Park in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. And on the way, oh, it was so cool. On the way there, I found this little, you know the little Curious George paper boats that we used to make as kids. I saw one of those that was made out of pink paper, like a flyer, and it was perfectly intact. It was not dirty. It was not torn, except for the pieces of paper had little holes in them. I'm like, oh, pink for the color I want my lungs to be again, and holes for the way I've been doing my lungs up until today. And so what I did is I put the cigarette in the little boat, a pack of cigarettes in the little boat, and put them under a tree. And I just kind of did like you do if you're burying a pet or something like that. And I sang a little song. It was a Annie Lennox song. It was from her first solo album. And I don't remember which one it was. I'll have to think about that for a second. And then I just said a little prayer and walked away, and didn't have any more cravings after that. Didn't really want to smoke after that. And then not long after that, I found out that Kurt Cobain had died. And I was out on the balcony with all the other people that were smoking, and me and the girl that were kind of leaning against the balcony were kind of talking about it. And she was smoking a cigarette, and we were talking, and I said, can I bum one of those? And she let me have one and lit up, started smoking, and I was just like, ooh, yeah, this, but I didn't want to hurt the girl's feelings, so I just kept smoking and just took as long as I could between drags, and I smoked it all the way down just to be courteous, because, when you're in that situation that we were in, money to get cigarettes is not easily come by for most of us. And I'm sure it wasn't for her. And that was my very last cigarette in 1994. So if you're going to have to be alone without your companion, you might want to kind of maybe doing a thought process on, how you might break up with that companion or bury that companion. Just a little something to think about, so that when you're alone in that room for however many days it's uncomfortable, well, the person's not, that companion's not here anymore. I buried that companion, or that companion's not here anymore. I broke up with that companion, and so anyway, just something to think about. I'm going to read your comment here. Sugar helps in recovery, apparently, as I'm finding out, as someone who hates sugar. Now I eat fruit. Well, fruit's great. I found out Kurt died when walking home from school. Yeah, that was intense. And it was especially intense because I was in rehab. Thinking, wow, what are the odds? And, I wish we didn't have to say this today. Because what a brilliant writer, singer, performer. Amazing. But yeah. Is there anything that you'd like for me to touch on or talk about besides what I already have? Was that helpful, or anyway? Do you want to just meet over in Facebook and talk on Messenger for a little while? Why don't we do that? Just because I don't have anything else content-wise to keep going. So I'll end this stream and meet you over on Facebook. Love you, Christy. See you soon. Bye.